What's going on, guys? Zach here again at Custom Rebel TV with another episode of the Grungy Garage Build, a ScottRods bodied 1941 Willys KingPin. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different than what you're going to see for the rest of them. I thought it might be a good idea to kind of go through some of the tools that you're going to need while you're building this car. There's two separate ways you can actually buy these kits from the shop. One is completely unassembled, like what we're going through right now, or one partially assembled or fully assembled. It all depends on what you want. I'm going to go through all the tools that you would most likely need for a full build, like in your garage. So like if you buy it with just raw glass and you put the whole thing together yourself. I thought this would be a good idea. Things might seem kind of out of context because I'm actually filming this later than some of the content inside the car, but I'm going to make this the second episode. That's why there's some stuff done inside here. It was done like a month ago, so I've got to actually kind of backtrack a little bit, but I thought this would be a good time to kind of show you guys some of the tools that are involved with building these cars. There's a lot. Here's the thing though. I am kind of a snap-on junkie. I love buying nice tools. They have great tools. I mean, Mac has great tools. Milwaukee even sells great tools. There's a ton of great tool providers and suppliers. I prefer Snap-on. I use them every day. I do this every day. Just because I'm building this one in my garage doesn't mean that this actually isn't my job. I do this over at the shop every day at ScottRods. There is no reason that you have to use Snap-on tools or Mac tools or even expensive Milwaukee stuff or anything like that in this build. You can literally go to Harbor Freight and buy what you need for one-time use. You don't have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on tools and such. You have to remember, I do this every day. Like, I clock in Monday morning and clock out Friday. I work on this stuff all weekend. I like to have nice tools. If you're going to build one car, buy the tools that'll last for one car. I mean, if you don't plan on keep doing this, there's no reason to invest a ton of money. But we're going to go through some of that stuff right now. I'm going to set up a table and kind of set everything out slowly, and I will explain kind of what each one is used for. Now, I know that I don't use stuff traditionally because this isn't a traditional way to build cars, but I'm going to try and make this very easy so you guys can kind of understand better how to go about doing this. So let's get started. We'll head right over to the table. Okay, guys, so I figured it would be a really good idea just to kind of go through my daily pack first, and this is what I pretty much take to the shop every single day unless I need like some of my specialty tools. But we're going to start off with just going through the daily handbag, the purse, if you will. And, right off the rip, first thing we find is good measuring tape. You're going to want a measuring tape because it's, a really bad idea not to have one. I got this Intercomp digital angle finder. This works really nice just to make sure that your car's level. You want to build this on a level playing field. So it turns on. They're like 50, 60 bucks on Amazon. Comes with a little case, and they do plug in with USB. I'm not going to explain the measuring tape. You guys get what that is. Now, one thing that I'm big on is sharp drill bits. You can get a good set of DeWalt's. You don't need 1,000 drill bits or anything like that. You can pick this up for like 25 bucks at Lowe's. You can also get them at Home Depot or Menards or anywhere that sells drill bits. This is one of my go-to tools for drills, I guess, for like making holes and everything. This is a 90-degree angle drill. It's a lot thinner just so you can actually get into tighter spaces. You can get one at Harbor Freight if you need to. You can actually use a normal drill. I just like it better for getting into fenders and stuff like that. Plus, it's got enough power to do whatever I'm going to need to do. Another big one, a good DA. You're always going to need a DA for this kind of stuff. It helps you scuff everything up. You're not going to use that for like your prep for gluing doors together or anything like that. But you just want to have one on hand. If you don't have a compressor, this might be kind of hard for you. If you're a car guy building one of these cars, I'm guessing that you have a compressor, so I'm not going to go through that. I've got a couple other specialty tools. They're not really specialty, I guess. Good die grinder. Helps you get into tight areas, especially when you got to take off some excess material. And then just a good angle cutter. I got a diamond bit on that. A really good thing to have is a decent set of files, guys. These come in handy way more than you would actually realize, especially when you're trying to get like some Bondo out of an area, if you're doing some body work or fiberall. They work really well. I've got a couple big ones. I've got a triangular one and then a round one. I really like those. Let's see what else. The die grinder actually comes with some different bits that work really good. Now, I have a couple of these countersink tools. I use this like on the dashes and stuff just to kind of clean up my bolts. That way if I want to use a countersink bolt or whatever the hell you call it, I like to have that, especially if you're repairing holes like that you have drilled through, like that you want to make sure aren't in the body, I guess, is you always want to kind of open them up a little bit too. So I always use one of these to kind of just clean some stuff up, I guess. You know, obviously a hammer. I did buy a specialty tight fit drill bit set. You don't have to get this stuff, but it makes it super easy to get into tight places if you have to make like, you know, a very tight hole somewhere. So we'll set that up there. Now, pneumatic hacksaw. I use this tool probably 60% more than everything else. Good blade on it. It runs off the compressor. It doesn't use a lot. You can probably pick up one of these like maybe $80 at like TSC or Harbor Freight or something like that. Probably get a cheaper one at Harbor Freight. This is the English brand. Now, an angle grinder, a mini angle grinder, I guess is the best way to put it. You are going to use this a lot. Get you some good grinder discs. I get the ones with little flaps on them. It's a flat disc. You can pick them up at Amazon or you can just get them off your Snap-on truck. That's where I get them. But yeah, this thing is super handy. You can pick one of these up for anywhere from $50 to $100 depending on how much you want to spend on it. The angle drill and stuff like that. I didn't really set any prices on that because the Snap-on price is going to be a little bit more expensive, but you're buying quality. This is one of those little, one of the little flappy bobs. And I use that thing a ton. Let's throw that up there. Let's see what else is in here. You're going to want a good utility knife, obviously. And good hole punch. Or not hole punch, I'm sorry. It is a center punch, so you don't walk your drill bits. This is actually a really nice one because you push down, it pops. Works good. So we got that. Now, guys, I cannot stress to you how important good markers are. You gotta have those too. And then, I mean, I've got extra blades and stuff in here, nothing crazy. And that's pretty much it for the daily pack. Now, I have tools over at the shop. I just don't like, this is what I kind of carry back and forth. Now, with fiberglass, you're going to use grinders a ton. It's just how it is. You have to grind anything you're like sticking together or sanding on that you're going to do body work. It has to be ground down very well to make sure you get good adhesion. I use, to actually make like a very rough surface, I use these flat discs. I don't know if the, yep, you can see them. And you can pick those up on Amazon. They're for a 4.5-inch grinder. And to make bigger cuts on stuff, I use a diamond blade. You can pick these up for probably $15 or $20 at Lowe's. Super good tool to have. Good tool to have. You're going to use it a lot, I promise. Get the. Now, another thing too is I like to keep these brass brushes around. They don't scratch the gel coat at all. And if you need to get any clay or anything out of the way, that most time we actually take care of it. But if there's any, a good brass brush actually goes a long way. And, you know, I've got nothing against the normal drill. Obviously, picked up at Lowe's, probably $80 with battery. Now, something that I normally do too is to be able to like move my windows around and stuff, I take a battery and I shove 2 little washers in there just so I can run the window kit up and down. Now, this is one of the most important tools that you can buy when working with fiberglass. No matter what, you're going to have to move fiberglass around a little bit. You're going to have to make things fit better. It's just how it is. Things change, especially when they're not put together. And if you let it sit in your garage for 2 years like I did, things are going to move a little bit. It's going to change shape, but you can always bring it back. The way you bring that back is a heat gun. I bought this thing for 10 bucks at Harbor Freight, guys. You need one of these. You need one. You need one. I cannot stress this enough. This is a very good tool to have. You have to have one. It's just how it is. You can heat up the glass and move it back into shape if you need to. You can change the shape of the fiberglass if you want to. You have to have this tool. This is the most important tool that I own for this stuff. Let's set that there. And obviously, guys, you're going to have wrenches, you're going to have sockets, you're going to have pliers and stuff like that. I'm not going to go through any of that. There's no point. Next, let's see. We do sell a 2-stage side grip glue. You can also use any other type of automotive glue you want to that is kind of flexible. This stuff is awesome. You can buy this through the shop too at ScottRods, and it's great. I don't know how to explain it any better than that. You can literally stick 2 pieces of steel together on this, and you will have to grind one side of the steel down to get them apart. This stuff is awesome. So that normally I think goes for like $60 or $70 a bottle. It's kind of expensive, but one bottle will pretty much get you through a whole build. So next, we've got a roto zip. I've got a diamond blade on the end of this thing. I'll show you. This works for going around, come on, focus. Okay, there we go. This works for going around like the windows and stuff to kind of clean things up for you. Makes it look nice, makes it easier to get your glass installed. You're gonna want a box of latex gloves. I know it's not a tool, but we're gonna kind of go through everything that you're gonna want at home. So I'm still kind of looking around. Good set of earplugs as well. That's always a good idea. Now, something that you would be surprised is a very important tool to have. It's a ratchet strap. I use ratchet straps all the time, and you're going to find out in my videos why. This is how I hold stuff together while I'm gluing it. So ratchet straps are very important. You can pick up a pack of 4 of these for probably 15 bucks at any type of Tractor Supply store or your Rural King or anything like that. Now, something that I've recently picked up is I've got this Chicago Pneumatic Mini DA. Works really nice for tight corners. I didn't know if I was going to actually like having one, so I went a cheaper route. I think I got this for $88 on Amazon. I'll probably end up getting a nicer one because this probably won't last underneath the fiberglass. Like, you know, fiberglass eats stuff up. So set that down. Right up there. Guys, I can't stress this enough. A dust mask is super important. Just like combating COVID-19, this is how you combat from getting fiberglass dust into your lungs. I normally wear a respirator or my forced air system at the shop because I do it every day, but a good dust mask with a little reservoir flap or whatever you want to call this thing at the end works really well. And a set of earplugs, at least a couple sets, because you need to protect yourself a little bit. Come on. Now, I like to have a good amount of the zip screws around. It helps me hold stuff together while I'm getting the car put together. And all they are is a drill screw. They work really well. You can get like a pack of these for $5 at your hardware store. Obviously, you're going to want to have the tunes. That's important. Good hand broom. Another really good thing to have around, guys, is a good set of C-clamps or vice clamps. They'll help you with getting your doors installed. They'll help you with putting your trunk on. They'll help you hold parts in place while you are trying to get them fit. Same as with the ratchet straps. Paint sticks, sandpaper, and putty spreaders. This stuff's all super important if you're going to do all the body work on your car. Plus, when you're doing like the jams and everything, you want to have some bodywork materials around. It's just how it is. Super simple stuff. I mean, there's not even $1,500 on this table for everything that you're going to need. You're not even going to need all of it. This is just me getting very in depth. Now, guys, we use this stuff called Fiberall Light. This is super strong. It is made for fiberglass. It is made with fiberglass in it. It is a much better alternative than Duraglass. I'm sure some of my old boys have heard of Duraglass. I use this on pretty much the entire car, like, and I don't mean like for bodywork or anything like that, but like to fill in like the seams and stuff that I'm going to go through. I'll put a layer of this on first. That way it's got a good base before I put my filler over top of it. You can get this for like $60, I believe. I don't even know if it's that much. Another thing too, if you're doing the bodywork, a nice light automotive filler will do you wonders. You want to make sure to get stuff that's easy to stand. So I would maybe buy this Evercoat Chroma Light. I don't know. We use that. We also use the Flyweight Gold by U-Pull. Great stuff. Very cheap products to use. And I don't mean cheap as in like they suck. They're just inexpensive. You don't need to break the bank to do this stuff, guys. You don't need to buy a $200 gallon of Bondo for this stuff. You know, don't break the bank. There's no point. Set this here. Good face shield. You need a good face shield to protect your freaking dome when you're cutting stuff. That way you don't get anything lodged in your face. Safety glasses are also important. Some gloves and a long sleeve flannel. I know these aren't tools, but I don't want to hear you complaining about how itchy you are. It's because you didn't put the proper PPE on. This isn't even PPE. This is literally gloves in a long sleeve shirt. It keeps the dust off of you. Little pro tip too, if you are actually having a lot of trouble with the dust and it's making you making your arms itch like crazy, take some baby powder and rub it up and down on your arms. It fills all your pores in and makes the dust not be able to enter your body. Now, guys, there's a couple other things that you might want to have. You need a welder. I know that sounds counterproductive on a fiberglass car, but if you're going to put any type of steel structure in, which when it comes to hinges and like trunk hinges and crossbars and all that stuff, like it's got to get welded in. You're going to put base plates on everything. You make a frame inside this car, basically. You're going to want a decent welder. You're also maybe going to want a bender if you're going to build some of your own parts. I have a JD squared hydraulic tubing bender. Works fantastic, but it's a $3,000 investment. You don't need that. You can buy most of the parts from us at ScottRods. The welder side of it, my welder is a Lincoln 216 MIG. Awesome freaking product. Also, I have about $3,000 invested in that. You do not need that. You can go to Lowe's and buy a $400 or $500 welder, or you can borrow one from your buddy. You don't have to break the bank to do this. It might seem like there's a lot of tools sitting here, but there really isn't. Something else that would be something to consider is buying some glass and resin from us at the shop, so that you can use the glass to like put your floor in. Everything gets glass together. You're not just getting something that's glued together. We glass a ton of stuff together to make sure that these are rigid bodies, and you want to do the same thing in your garage. It's very important to take the proper steps to make sure that these things are put together right, or you're going to be riding around in a hunk of junk that's going to fall apart because you didn't want to take the time to do it. It's not super expensive. Like I said, I probably haven't even broke. Okay, so maybe like with the snap-on stuff, I've broken $2,000 with what's on the table right now. There's a lot of parts and stuff that go into this, but you don't have to have an insane amount of tools. You just got to have the right tools, and that's why I'm kind of making this video to show you guys exactly what I think you need. Your heat guns are very important. Your drills are very important. Your cutoff saws are important. Grinders are very important. Having your tunes. This is super important, guys. Now, like I said, you need an air compressor. You're not going to hand sand all this shit. I would hate you to do that. Not because I would hate you, but it would take you forever. And you can blow the fiberglass dust out your garage door with a compressor. You have to sweep it out, basically. A good vacuum is also a good idea, like a shop vac or something. That way you can just clean up your area very easily. Some good cutoff blades for your grinder that you can actually use for like I call them a death wheel. It's a cut off wheel basically. But I mean, you're going to need a vise. You're going to want a vise. You don't need one. You're going to want a bench grinder just because it makes things easier. You don't have to have that stuff, but it's what I think you need to make it easier. But honestly, I don't really see much more that, you know, I can think of that you would have to absolutely have to build these cars. A good set of punches, maybe some Allen wrenches, because the bolts and stuff, just depending on what you decide to use. We like the Allen wrench, like the Allen bolt look. I think they're called socket cap screws. I can't really fully remember right now. But yeah, you don't have to break the bank, guys. But you could get away with going to Harbor Freight on a weekend with less than $800 and getting everything you need for one build. No, it might not last forever, but it'll last you long enough to get through your car. And I'm betting a lot of you guys already have this stuff. But yeah, this is what I use every day. I mean, some stuff I use only on the weekends at my house, and some stuff I only use at the shop. But should give you a pretty good idea of what goes into a build. And not even just the aspect of materials, but the hand tools and stuff that you need to do it. You don't need everything. You can make stuff work. Guys, I really appreciate you watching the channel. I really appreciate you watching this episode. I'm going to have more episodes coming out. I have been working on quite a few of them. I'm just trying to make it so I can consistently get them out. But I'd like you to head over to ScottRodsCustom.com and check out all the cars that we actually offer at the shop. And I'd like you guys to comment if there's any questions that you have on this stuff. You can comment on the little thingy below. But yeah, like and subscribe to the channel, and I really appreciate you guys hanging out. But until next time, I'm going to get back to work. Take it easy, guys.